Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Book 3 Change for Korra speculation video. This one's going to be going into K310, Long Live the Queen. So yeah, basically what do I think is going to happen and all that sort of stuff. Well, from the preview clip that we've seen, we know that Asami basically breaks off from her chain. She's the non-bender. She's not restrained as much. She's gonna go and try and find something to free Korra, and that's gonna lead to something happening. Potentially Korra and Asami escaping from the airship, and maybe that then leads to what happens in the desert. The clips that we've seen in the trailers, basically, we've nearly seen everything apart from, I think, a Gazan fight scene and some of the stuff in the desert, like the giant kind of sandworm type thing. We haven't seen that yet, so we still have to see that scene. And I think, if my avatar geography is correct, if Korra and Asami were captured just outside the Misty Palms Oasis and they're bringing them back to Ba Sing Se, they have to fly over the Siwang Desert to get there, which is near, obviously, where the Sandbenders are. So if indeed like they're fairly soon into their journey and they escape, they probably would end up, if the ship crashed or they managed to get off the ship somehow, somewhere in the desert. So the geography seems to point towards that happening. Now, I'm not really sure how exactly it's going to work, apart from the fact that, okay, Korra's completely restrained. It's going to give Asami something big to do, so that's a huge kind of thing. Just finally, she's kind of potentially going to get her big moment here, and you know, if she does result in Korra and Asami getting away, it does mean that the Earth Queen is not going to have basically what Zahir wants from her. So that's going to really, when obviously everything comes together, everything's happening in Ba Sing Se. When the Red Lotus arrive there's going to be no bargaining or anything like that. If she doesn't have Korra, I think they're probably just going to try and take her out, or just like take over Ba Sing Se or something like that. Again, I'm not really sure how the dynamic is going to work, because the Earth Queen is obviously going to be in charge of basically everything in Ba Sing Se. So there's going to be like the Dai Li plus other soldiers against the Red Lotus. All the while, Team Avatar are trying to escape. Mako and Bolin will probably be trying to escape the Red Lotus. And then Korra and Asami will probably maybe have already escaped the Earth Queen. And even if neither of them escape, just the Red Lotus and the Earth Queen maybe fighting gives the Team Avatar a chance to escape. Either way, I think next episode there's going to be some form of a big escape, or maybe multiple escapes happening. The one thing I don't know what is really going to happen is just what Mako and Bolin are really going to be doing in the episode Captured by the Red Lotus. They're obviously going to try and use them as leverage to get Korra to submit easily, but if Korra escapes the Earth Queen, that means that won't happen if she never comes in contact with the Red Lotus. So that's interesting. Will they try and escape? Will Bolin get his chance to metal band? Will there be another fight? We don't really know. And then add to that Mako and Bolin's family is in Ba Sing Se, so if they escape in Ba Sing Se, they have an obvious place to go and hide, and that would come back into things. But overall, I just think the way everything is set up is super interesting, in that you have a hint, like we know some of an escape attempt is going to happen. There's going to be some really big interactions with the Red Lotus maybe speaking to the Earth Queen, Korra and the Earth Queen meeting again, and all this other sort of stuff. And then in the background, like, we haven't seen Zuko in a while. We haven't seen Airbenders and Tonrock, what that group is doing after Pili escaped. So they have to come back into things. We haven't seen the Airbenders since episode 7, and Opal is obviously on her way there, so we still have to see what her arrival there means. And another scene from the trailers we haven't seen is the scene of Kai getting like blown off a mountain or something like that. So we still have to see that. So we're returning to the Airbenders at some point. Is it going to be next episode? Because I'd really like to see how Opal is doing at airbending and stuff like that, training there. See Tenzin again as well. See Janora again. What's going on with the whole tattoo situation? As I said, I don't expect that to be resolved until like book 4. But still, I want to see Janora again. That'd be cool. And I think next episode kind of offers them a chance to maybe go back to these little stories that they haven't really gone to in a while, just because they are now in a position where everything's kind of split apart. Team Avatar is split apart in two sections, so you could have an episode where you touch on a little bit of everything, touch on what's going on in the Air Temple, touch on what Zuko's been doing, Red Lotus, Earth Queen, Korra and Asami, and even what Lin is doing, what Su Yin is doing, because that was a small scene in the last episode, episode 9. Just Lin seemed to walk out of Zhao in search of Korra. What's Su Yin going to be doing? Because everyone is suspecting that she's part of the Red Lotus now, because her ideal seems similar. Again, as I said in my review of episode 9, I think it could be just a case of she's known Ai Wei for a long time. She potentially knows Zahir from the circus, if that is indeed correct. So she obviously knows the ideals and maybe has developed them without actually becoming a member herself. And that would just be an interesting concept to have. Just because it seems a little bit kind of predictable if it is just, suspicion over Su Yin, she's evil. But again, I'm not sure what they're going to do. And then even what Lin is going to do, we assume she's probably going to go off on her own searching for Team Avatar. And there's just going to be this thing going on in the background where she'll just appear when she's needed, like Team Avatar's losing a fight or something like that. Lin appears, turns the tides or something like that. I'm not sure. And then just on the Airbender side of things, like, okay, they're doing their thing on Air Temple Island. No, not Air Temple Island, the Northern Air Temple. How did they then get involved with everything else that's going on? How do they get involved in the Earth Queen stuff? How did they get involved in the Red Lotus stuff? We assume they're going to be told about some of the stuff that's happened. Maybe Lin will contact Tenzin and say that Korra's gone off missing, potentially. But again, as far as she knows, she's just out investigating something. She doesn't know she's captured yet. How is all of this going to come together? That's the stuff we don't know, but it creates a lot of speculation over what could potentially happen, and that's really cool. Now that we have 2 members of Team Avatar with the Red Lotus, potentially we have an opportunity to get more scenes with them together and maybe get more characterization for Minghua, Pali, Gazan, and maybe even Zahir himself. Though I feel he of that group definitely is the kind of most well off right now in terms of character. But like especially Gazan is just like nothing. He's pretty much a blank slate. Same with Minghua, same with Pali. They can definitely do a lot with them if they just give them some time, but I'm not sure what they're going to do. Then we know Varric is going to have some sort of involvement in the book at some point, so what's he going to do? Is he going to give Lin a ship or something like that? I'm not really sure. We know he has some bigger involvement than it seems in this book, so I'm not really sure what they're going to do there. Will Sue's kids have any involvement? Again, no idea, but that's a good thing about the book, that there's so much potential for stuff to happen, but we just don't know what exactly is going to happen. Then, what else is there to talk about, really? When do I think Zuko is going to come back into it? I'm really not sure. There's been such a break between when that actually happened and like now. I'm not really sure. It could be one of those finale things where like it's just like, again, bad moment in the middle of a fight, Zuko arrives out of nowhere on his dragon, but who knows what they're going to do again. I keep saying that, but it's not very clear right now. There's obviously still the thing of they want to take out President Raiko. That was something that was explained in the last episode, basically, that little one-off line about, are we going to take out the president? Not now, is explained. So you have that set up that they could go into Ba Sing Se and just want to take out the Earth Queen more than anything else. But I'm pretty sure that's all there is to really talk about with the next episode. There's obviously other stuff going on in the background, like it's Avatar State. We don't really know what's up with that. Like, I'm kind of wondering, like, is Rava ever gonna like talk again or what? Because Wan, when he was first with Rava, they were talking like back and forth constantly. now it's only Korra and Rava as like the new Avatar. So why can't Rava talk again? It's just a little bit like, I think this is a good time to maybe do something like that, bring it back, just because it is just Korra and Rava and no other past avatars. Um, but that's just something like I really enjoyed Rava last book, so I'd like to see more of her. Um, but yeah, just again, we don't know what exactly the Red Lotus are going to do with Korra once they have her. The plan initially was to capture her and raise her so she'd have the same ideals as them, so she wouldn't like disagree over the freeing Vatu stuff and opening the portals. But now, like, are they really going to try and do that again? Capture her and do those ideals? Are they going to try and force her to do something? I think it has to be something more than that. There's obviously the potential that they may make her go into the Avatar state and like kill her then, so the Avatar cycle ends or something like that. But that seems like a bit overly dark. But then again, the next episode this Friday is going to be called "Long Live the Queen." There's the potential that the kind of Earth Queen goes down in like a blaze of glory to the Red Lotus or something like that. But yeah, that's really all the speculation I have. Definitely in the comments, let me know what you think is going to happen on the episode on Friday. Final thing I'll just end off with is just Avatar Online podcast. We've got 2 episodes, 2 shows coming up this weekend. We've yet to fully organise like which day we're doing each show, but right now I think the plan, at least I'm going to propose to everyone on the podcast, is that Saturday it's going to be a review of the Rift Part 2, the comic. We're finally going to get around to that. So we'll be doing that on Saturday. Then on Sunday we'll be doing our core roundtable review for Long Live the Queen, so the episode that I'm speculating on right now. So we'll do that. They'll be the 2 podcasts over the weekend. We'll cover news, if there is any, like on them right now. Obviously I'd usually cover the news in these videos, but there hasn't really been any news between since I reviewed the last episode now, but we'll see what happens. Next big thing potentially coming up is the How to Draw Korra book, which I have ordered and I'll review when it comes out. I think it's August 15th is the release date. I probably won't have it until like a week later just because of shipping reasons, but yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.